Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nitty Gritty to Balance podcast. I'm your host, Abigail, and joining us each episode is my mom, Staci, a holistic health coach and intuitive. Each week, we discuss topics through the lens of her work and subspecialties to bring to light the balance in the everyday. So, with that, let's bring in the brains behind the balance and get this episode started. Welcome into today's episode, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Today's episode is a beautiful one. Yes, we're talking about feminine flow, feminine energy, the wisdom of the feminine body. This is something kind of granular that we're getting to expand on today, but it's fun. It's also kind of like a foundation. And yeah, we're going to go through and just expand on what feminine energy really is, talk about feminine flow, how it applies to today in the everyday world, and kind of some misconceptions about it also.
And just how to live in it, honor it, flow with it, be in rhythm with who we are.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
And the female, the woman, we have been very far removed from our innate feminine energy.
And I love the word feminine flow because when we're able to think of it this way and think of it as something that flows through us, it's something that is natural and should come to us with ease. When you're able to embody that flow, it really kind of stops you in your tracks and makes you think, how am I in my body right now, throughout my day-to-day, in today's world? Am I in my feminine flow? And just to really kind of bring this perspective home for everyone and just really kind of instill what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's going to be a deep, but hopefully inviting. And that's what I get from the word flow.
Yeah.
It seems inviting. And I hope that it's a returning back to the internal wisdom.
Yeah. And today's goal is truth. It's not ideology. It's not convenience. It's truth.
It's the truth of who we are.
It's femininity at its core.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yes.
I love it. But to be a woman today often means functioning despite the body rather than with it. So really kind of pulling in femininity today, we are functioning despite. And already how much it kind of flings us out of embodying this flow. It misplaces that energy immediately.
Yes, we are not taught through our creativity, intuition, our cycles, our rhythm, our innate being of a woman, how to be that and how to live with that and flow with that daily, monthly, yearly, with the environment.
Yeah.
And to live with it as society moves forward. So I think this is a really important topic to talk about, to start bringing awareness, to come back to that feminine energy and be living within ourselves.
And this is in no way to exclude masculine energy or men from the conversation at all.
Not at all. We welcome any man or masculine energy to listen to this.
Yeah.
To better understand what the feminine energy, the feminine flow really is.
Yeah.
With that inner wisdom.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we will give a spotlight to the masculine flow as well.
Yeah.
Because it is just as important as the feminine flow.
And I think a key point in talking about this too is that to be a woman does not mean you only have feminine energy. Because to be a woman, you have feminine and masculine energy aspects to you, just as men have masculine and feminine energy aspects to them.
Absolutely. And so what we speak to today, men can find these qualities within them as well. They're not going to be as strong. They're not going to be as prevalent. They're not going to be daily cycles or rhythms or flow, but they are there in what feminine energy means. And absolutely, women have the characteristics and that energy flow that men carry strongly, and the men will have it, what the women carry strongly. Because, as we speak to in a lot of our episodes, there is that duality. There is that complement. There has to be that balance.
That is nature.
That is nature. That's right.
There has to be the balancing of these energies. And so again, it's not to say that only women can have this feminine energy and only men can have this masculine energy. Keep in mind, everyone has these energies.
And one is not better than the other. One is not more powerful than the other. They need each other, and they are powerful together.
Yeah.
That is where true power comes from.
That's something big that's forgotten about.
Yes.
Yeah, when these two energies, when these two flows are able to come together and merge together and feed off of each other beautifully, that is harmony.
They complement each other.
Yeah.
That is harmony. That is flow.
Exactly. Well, let's start out by saying the feminine body was never designed to be conquered.
If everybody can just really let that sink in and find the wisdom in that, because that's what I feel like so many women do daily, is try to conquer themselves and what is innate in them.
Yeah.
And that is not feminine energy.
Yeah. The feminine body was designed to feel, to sense, to create, to hold and transform life, internally and externally.
Yes. Yeah. All of this feminine flow, feminine energy is internal and external.
I resonate a lot with the feel and the sense portion of this. Being someone that leans into intuition quite a bit, it is that practice of feeling and sensing. And it's fun to practice, and it's fun to grow in that and expand that. That to me is, the sensing is the feminine intuition.
It is. That is the nature of us. We are creatures to feel and to sense, and that intuition is very much a strong part of the feminine flow. And when we feel, we allow everything outside of us to also be able to feel.
Yeah.
And we can nurture that and love that and hold space for that. That is what we are designed to do. And when we can honor that for ourselves, when we can hold ourselves in our feelings and our sensing and our intuition, then again that gets displayed on the outside world, and we're able to offer that to the outside.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful and transformative.
Mm-hmm.
And when we embody that for ourselves as the feminine, we get to nurture that in other people.
Yeah. Especially when we practice ourselves and we allow ourselves that nurturing, and it becomes second nature for us, that's where it becomes easier to notice and to see in others where they're at with their feeling into their flow.
And to help others move through it.
Mm-hmm.
Young ones.
Yeah.
Teaching them how to sense and feel and nurture and hold space and love.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Let's get into our first key point here, and we're talking about feminine flow, not as gender, but as a way life moves.
Mm-hmm.
And we've touched on a few of these key points already, but women experience this flow through the architecture of our bodies. That's why it's so innate to us. That's why this energy comes easily to us through the architecture of our feminine bodies. And this can show up through, like we said, cyclical hormones. Women are on a 28-day cycle, and we have our bodies moving through these cycles like clockwork. So cyclical hormones, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and when we can live in rhythm, in harmony with our cycle, and again, not conquer it, not stuff it away, because we live in this world that wants continuous energy, continuous productivity, doesn't want the burden of uncertainty, of emotional, doesn't want to deal with the emotions, right? Yeah. Because that's uncertain, it's uncomfortable. And what do you do with that? But that is part of us. And it is here for a reason. And so to honor that and to understand those cycles, and that is part of this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wisdom in that.
Absolutely. And I do think it's fun now, kind of culturally, women are moving away from suppressing their hormones so openly. I feel like there's a really big push away from birth control. I feel like it's becoming more and more of a trend, so to say, of ditching the hormonal birth control. And that alone signifies that women want to come back to their bodies. They want to feel and fall in line with those hormonal cycles of the body. Because, kind of like what you said, what we're talking about, not the feminine body is not one to be conquered. However, we live in a society that wants to do that. It wants to control, it wants to predict, it wants to know all outcomes. But that's just not nature.
Exactly.
And I love seeing this move away from hormonal birth control. I think it's beautiful. I think it says a lot about where women are and where the interest is moving.
Yes, and the wisdom of coming back and trusting the body. It is beautiful. And it is important just to recognize that, and we've stated this in other episodes as well, that you do have to kind of move to these outer boundaries to find where is too far. So you know what it means to to come back to that balance. And society has really pushed women to these boundaries, which is beautiful all on its own, because we realize how far we're removed from ourselves and the importance of living within ourselves and this flow and the rhythms and the cycles and all of that that makes up this beautiful feminine energy.
Yeah.
And if we don't get pushed from that, then we don't see the beauty of it, and we don't necessarily see the importance of it. And so, yes, how beautiful it is to find that returning back to what is natural for us.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, there's a big push to cycle syncing. You know, everything, there's this push to, you know, kind of living our days, living our lives, despite everything that we have to do, work, school, kids, whatever it is, those will always be there. But it's this movement to how can we honor our bodies despite the life that we are living. And I think it's a really intense time because we live in an intense time where I feel like the world is spinning so fast. It's so busy. Everyone is out doing everything all the time. But women are still coming back to, well, my body means something. And my body's trying to tell me something. And I need to learn to listen. It really is this push to learning to listen and learn the body.
Yeah. And I really like what you're bringing in here, because the world is fast, and it does have all of this aspects to it that the world didn't have, you know, a century ago. But what is so important, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. What is so important is that this is the time that we live in. And so we do have to honor that. And we're not asking the women to go back to homemaking, right? Because that's not where we're at anymore.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we neglect the nature within us and our purpose of being in this feminine energy. We still get to honor that, and we still get to live within that with how the world looks today.
Yeah. I think it's so beautiful. I just had this idea flood into my mind, you know, kind of talking about the duality of feminine and masculine, and kind of almost thinking like, I feel like men are still so primal in their masculinity.
Okay.
But women are kind of the ones that are pushed to change or to become predictable. You know, kind of this, suppression of our natural hormonal body. And as women kind of creep farther and farther out to the edges like we're talking about, it is throwing men off.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different directions we can go there. But I'm thrilled that you're bringing this in, because I'm going to try and create a little picture here. Okay. So, and I'll have to describe it for everybody that's listening. So, let's say we have this ruler. Okay. And the masculine, the man, let's say, is going to be on the right side edge of the ruler. Okay. And then the female energy is going to be on the far left side of the ruler. And in the center of that ruler is going to be masculinity.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So you have man on the right, you have woman on the left, and then the woman, hang with me.
Yeah,
hang with me.
I'm with you.
The woman on the left, let's say that point, okay, is the feminine energy. But in the center of this ruler, we're going to have the masculine energy, not man, but the masculine energy. Okay. So the woman on the right of the ruler, let's say she's moving to the center where this masculine energy is, right? So what is the man on the right doing? If he's connected to this ruler, right? Man, woman, they're connected. If she's sliding close to that masculine energy, what is that masculine or what is that man doing?
Is he trying to balance it out so he's also coming to the center?
But he can't. They're connected. So masculine's here. We'll have to recut this or whatever. But masculine's here. Feminine's here. Man, woman. Masculine energy's here, but feminine energy's here. Okay. This point stays. That masculine energy stays. So if she's coming in to masculine, where is he going?
Off? The ruler?
No, he's attached to the ruler. She's attached to the ruler. They're here.
He's going down.
He's going further away from masculine. You see that? She's coming in. He's going further away.
Interesting.
Now, if he comes in to masculine energy, where does she go?
Farther to feminine.
Farther to feminine.
Interesting.
Yes.
Huh.
So they are connected. Man and woman are constantly connected on that ruler. And so if she's moving more towards masculine, he's moving further away from masculine. He has to balance what she's doing. And the same, if he's moving into masculine energy, she's going to move to more to feminine energy. She has to balance what he's doing.
Interesting.
That's why they sit on the ruler together. They are connected. The same distance, let's say, from that masculine energy. And so as they push and pull
Interesting.
to that,
Yeah, okay.
they're either complementing or they're pushing one further to the other.
Yeah. Wow. So the masculinity is the center point. It is fixed.
Well, and that's just the example that I used.
Right.
You could put feminine energy as that center point and move masculine. So the masculine, as he moves to that feminine energy center point, what is it going to do? It's going to move her further to the masculine point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the overall idea there is that the masculine and feminine are connected. And as they move through this feminine masculine energy, they are pushing one further away or drawing one closer in. They're constantly balancing each other. So if a woman is much more masculine, she's going to push him more to feminine because the energy has to balance. That is the law of nature.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like this constant push-pull.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a woman that is so in her feminine, she is going to attract that man that is so in his masculine because they're going to complement. that is going to be the natural balance, the natural pull, the natural attraction.
Yeah.
But as soon as she starts sliding into a masculine tendency of something, he is going to have to slide into a feminine complement of that.
Wow.
He has to. She has to.
Yeah.
That's the balance.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That just is the balance of nature. Because we will always have this duality.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
And you can fight it as much as you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And you can blame the other as much as you want to. But there is no blame.
Yeah.
That is the natural law of how masculine and feminine flow together.
Mm-hmm.
And when they are in harmony, that's a power couple.
Yeah.
That is a powerful couple because they work together. They complement.
Yeah.
And that is power. And that is why you have a king and a queen. And that's why you watch these warrior movies, and that warrior looks to his feminine counterpart and looks to her for the wisdom, and he looks to her for that complement of that action. Should he go into battle? Should he make this decision? He looks to her for that wisdom because they complement each other.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I love it.
And if we could actually live our life like that with our partner, or even just understanding the opposite, and this is why one is not greater than the other.
Yeah, one cannot be better than the other.
No.
That's not how this balance works.
Exactly.
They are beautiful and individual in their own. And the beauty of it is they're meant to work together.
It has nothing to do with intelligence or body type or work ethic or none of that.
These are all social constructs.
Yes.
And that's not feminine flow, masculine flow are not dependent on social constructs.
No, that's controllable.
Yeah. Well, when women are disconnected from their feminine energy, they often can feel productive but exhausted. They can feel capable but empty at the same time. Again, here's this duality.
Right.
You can gain positive experiences but still feel like something's missing.
Well, and those that you listed, one is very masculine, and the one that is depleted is the feminine.
Yeah.
And the reason is because the feminine is trying to be in this masculine type action, but they feel it in their feminine. We have to, because that's what we are.
Yeah.
We cannot sustain that masculine action because that's not our cycle. That's not our rhythm. And it is exhausting for women. And I think so many, if not just about all of them, can relate to the examples that you just gave.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know personally, I can get caught in the trap of, well, this is what everyone else is doing. Well, this is the way of society now. And I find myself getting caught in this cycle that's not natural to me. And something is always whispering in the back of my mind, something's missing. Something's missing. There's that sense of accomplishment.
Sure.
On the surface, but quietly in the background, something's missing.
And as soon as you start listening to that, as soon as you make that intentional shift,
Mm-hmm.
you will start to flow.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to take, is recognizing how far to these outer boundaries we have been removed, and intentionally saying, you know what, it has gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
And it just starts taking this momentum of women coming back to themselves, to this feminine flow, and the understanding of the importance of the masculine flow and the importance of the feminine flow and the importance of the balance
Yeah.
between these, that we can start harmonizing our lives,
Mm-hmm.
and then the outer reality just starts falling into place, because it has to. That's the balance.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's going to take us intentionally retraining ourselves to come back into ourselves and
Mm-hmm.
start listening to that innate wisdom, and then teaching the younger generations
Yeah.
that this is what it really is.
Yeah. And it can be done in today's world.
Absolutely can.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is that as soon as women start making this choice, that I am reclaiming myself, I am going to live within my wisdom, my cycles, my rhythm, my flow, the men, that masculine energy comes into balance with us.
Yeah.
It has to. It has to. But we have to claim that
Mm-hmm.
and start moving in that direction.
Yeah.
And the laws of nature will say, here you go.
Yeah. We really should do an episode on the laws of nature,
Sure.
because there's so much that I want to pull in here, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean the world seeks harmony. The universe is always trying to pull you back to being your true self.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just so conditioned to ignoring that, ignoring those pulls.
Yeah.
And pushing on regardless.
And something that's just coming in that I want to state here is, with talking about how nature balances, if we have noticed how women have really stepped into this masculine energy of productivity, working outside the home, not nurturing and loving and holding space and feeling as much as we are designed to do,
Mm-hmm.
what have we noticed about our counterparts, the masculine? What do we see them doing? They're becoming more feminine.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We, the feminine, by stepping more into the masculine, has pushed them that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not that we decided to do this. There is no blame there.
Yeah.
This is what society has conditioned us and moved the feminine flow, the feminine energy into.
Mm-hmm.
It has really cultivated us to be more masculine. And it's not a fault. It's just the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with witnessing this and feeling these outer boundaries, that things are getting a little out of hand now,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are not liking the reality that we're witnessing and moving into.
Yeah.
We can shift that so easily by women reclaiming themselves and coming back to that feminine energy, and then that masculine energy is going to come back and meet us where we're at.
Yeah.
And be balanced.
And that's the whole point of today's episode, is to really lay this out for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
To bring the awareness to this.
Yes, and to just let all the women out there listening to this know that they have the choice. and that they can start making these shifts
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of start putting the pieces out there, so they can start seeing maybe what is out of alignment for themselves, so they know where to start making these shifts to start coming back to that feminine flow.
Yeah.
And once we start seeing the difference in ourselves, we're going to start seeing the difference in the collective, in our reality,
Mm-hmm.
with our partner.
Yeah.
It's just going to start balancing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that you and I have talked about before, but it really has become my mantra in my own mind, and that is personal excellence. Building our own independent personal excellence, things will fall into place around you,
Mm-hmm.
rather than trying to keep up with the neighbor 2 streets over or the friend. To stop keeping up with the Joneses.
Or the business partner
Yeah.
that's a masculine
Mm-hmm.
and you're feminine, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're not just picking on genders,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not about any of that. It's this flow.
Yeah.
And that's why we titled it that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, really, to hone it in, it's this embodiment
Mm-hmm.
of the essence of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. The essence of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And how beautiful it is. And just to give yourself the space and the time to recognize and come back to finding this alignment.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a reflection for our listeners. And this reflection, you can write it down, ponder on it, however it resonates with you best. But ask yourself, where in my life do I feel most in flow? Where things move with ease, intuition, and natural timing? And where do I feel I am forcing myself to move against my own rhythm? Where do you feel pushed to move against your own rhythm? That's a deep question.
That's, yeah.
But I think it's, at the same time, could be an easy one to answer.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there's definitely answers there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's move into our second key point, kind of what women have lost.
Mm-hmm.
We're taught to override pain. We're taught to push away emotions and regulate, to be consistent instead of cyclical. Instead of leaning into our cycles, we're taught to be the same, to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Mood swings are bad. To be productive instead of receptive. So that masculine, that go, go, go productivity,
Mm-hmm.
rather than sensing the environment that you're in and responding based off of that. And then to be resilient instead of responsive.
Mm-hmm.
To keep pushing through. Keep going no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about how you truly feel. You have to keep pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
That's exhausting.
It is exhausting, and that's why the feminine energy women feel so exhausted, and we're depleted.
Yeah.
Because we are overriding every chemical response, every bit of what makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're just excluding it and pushing through and pushing on into what is not completely naturally us.
Yeah.
And the first one that you had said, override pain,
Mm-hmm.
what instantly comes to mind is birth.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically a rite of passage. That is moving from that first birth that a woman has moves her into motherhood.
Yeah.
That pain, that experience, those emotions, when you are chemically overrided to take that away from you, you haven't gone through that rite of passage in stepping into motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this isn't judgment or shame or any of that. This is our innate part of being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And just like in many ancient cultures, the men had a rite of passage to step into becoming a man, stepping into that masculine energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being stripped and taken away from us. And we don't understand that completeness of stepping into these very powerful energies.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, speaking from my own personal experience, the person I was before becoming a mom, she had a beautiful life, but she's not here anymore.
No.
Yeah, completely became a new person on the other side of birth.
And probably stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wouldn't change any of it.
No.
It was so beautiful.
Yes, it helped you transform into the next phase, chapter of your life.
Yeah.
It is necessary. It is built in for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yes, your hormonal cascade throughout birth is so purposeful. It means so much to not only to your baby, but for your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As a female, your body was designed to give birth. Why would we assume that this overriding of pain or this overriding of our natural process to bring new life into this world, where do we sense balance in that?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my real question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birth is a very passionate topic of mine. So we could certainly go off on this for a while, but
we could, and we're not going to, but it is also extremely, again, powerful for the feminine energy.
Yeah.
And I just want to just quickly put in here, it has to be said, is that the female body, in its ability to make another human being, to create life with the help of this masculine energy, there has to be that balance. So it's not taking anything away from them, but the female womb is this portal into this world.
Yes.
This life is coming from another world, another dimension, and the woman's body is here as the portal to bring human life into this world.
Yeah.
And to override that and to not see the full beauty and potential of us is really sad that we don't embrace who we really are and the power of that.
Yeah.
And allow men to also embrace that with us.
It is a process that is so sacred. And yeah, it is sad to see how our Western world treats it.
Yes. And I mean, just even every single rhythm and cycle within the feminine flow, the female body, it's also sacred. Every bit of it serves a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we wonder why there's so much mental illness and emotional illness and hormonal illness, is because we are neglecting and overriding and overlooking, and we are not in flow, and we are not in balance. And so all of these things are getting thrown off.
Yeah.
How could it look for all of us if we lived and understood all of this within ourselves, and we moved and lived with that?
Mm-hmm.
How different would the health of everybody be?
Yeah.
I think it would be very different.
Oh, so different. So different. I guess that really moves me into our third key point here, which is the feminine body as wisdom, not as an obstacle. Kind of really bringing it back into how the society drills into our head that the feminine body is to be made to be predictable.
Yes.
That it is an obstacle that we have to
Conquer.
that we have to suppress, that we have to push into a system that does not flow naturally for it.
An obstacle, I think of jumping over and leaving it behind.
Yeah, basically like, forget this. Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to jump over this. I'm going to jump over this emotion. I'm going to jump over this feeling. I'm going to leave it behind because it's slowing me down. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And what a disservice.
Yeah, the feminine body is not a problem to manage.
No.
And when a woman learns to listen to her body rather than override it, this is where she really begins to step into that feminine flow, which is what today's episode is all about.
Stepping into.
Yeah.
Yes. And so what I see there in my third eye is whenever I speak the words or think the words to step into, I see the shadow self stepping into the bright illuminated self.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You step into that.
Mm-hmm.
You reclaim that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so interesting, bringing in the shadow aspect of ourselves, because the shadow is the parts of you that you're shoving away.
That you don't want to see.
Yeah.
You don't want to acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
She's
our
still
teacher.
there. Yeah.
And that shadow is still there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our teacher, right? Is that not the little voice in the back of your head that's saying, but something's not right? It's that shadow that you're ignoring.
That obstacle.
But moving back into when a woman learns to listen to her body, the beauty of the sensing, the feeling, the knowing, we're able to make clearer decisions.
Definitely.
We have a clearer thought process. We can sense timing. This is a big one. I love the sensing of time, especially being a mother. My body can feel when my baby has gotten enough sleep, because I can go her entire nap feeling like she's good, she's safe, she's napping. And once it comes time, I can sense when she's getting enough sleep or she's starting to wake up. And her nap durations are all over the place.
Right.
And it is so fascinating to feel every time. And it is just this knowing that she's about to wake up. And I can't really explain it. It is just my body knows.
Yes, and that is feminine flow. That is the female as the oracle. is that we have this innate knowing. And men have it too. The masculine energy has it too, but it does not seem to be as strong as it is in the feminine flow.
Yeah.
And this is where the feminine flow knows direction and timing, and it's just this innate compass that is there to direct these things.
Yeah.
We need to lean into it. We need to listen to it. We need to flow with it. And how easy would things be for us if we just flowed with this innate wisdom?
Yeah. It's really fun being at the phase that I'm at right now in my intuition. And it is really that learning to trust the knowing. And it is so fun. So fun. It takes so much stress or pressure. It's almost like this sense of letting things be, and the information will come to me when I need it.
Yeah, it just takes the intention. It does take some practice to get comfortable with that trust. But it is there.
It is.
And it is wanting to be listened to and help navigate.
Yeah.
A person, a family, a workspace, the collective.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful to lead intuitively. It's peaceful.
It's wise.
Yeah. It's a fun practice. Yeah. And this is the feminine flow embodied. It is that focus on that intuition.
That inner knowing, the inner wisdom. Yeah. It is there for everybody.
Yeah.
And if we could step into that and then teach that to the little ones as they're growing up, and then they just innately trust it and know it and flow with it, that's how change happens, is when we, the elder, the parent, can embody that and trust that and listen to it, have that emotional wisdom is coming in. When we can really do that, then we can teach that. We can support the others around us in that.
Yeah.
And that's how change and transformation happens with the collective.
Yeah, it's something that I'm very excited about in raising my little girl, is instilling that intuition and that trust, and not only trust, but that comes along with self-confidence in being who she is. I'm so excited.
Yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful journey that you're on in reclaiming yourself and coming back to yourself.
Yeah.
And then once you have that wisdom, that you do get to then transfer it to her and let her grow up just innately in this feminine flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the while understanding and respecting the masculine flow. You know, there has to be that balance.
Yeah.
So as we are teaching the little ones, you know, whether if they are feminine, teaching them their feminine flow, there has to be the balance of teaching that masculine flow as well.
Yeah.
And seeing it within themselves, and then also in the masculine energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have a reflection for everyone at this point in the episode. Where is my body communicating wisdom rather than inconvenience? That reminder to not ignore that little voice in the back of your mind?
And this is a really good question because that can help pinpoint kind of a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hone in on at least just one of these, then you've got a place to start putting your focus and your awareness, and then start embodying that for yourself.
Yeah.
And from there, I think you'll just naturally move into the other feminine qualities that have maybe been stuffed away, or obstacles that you've tried to move through, or
Yeah.
however that is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is a good starting point.
It's a great foundational question
Mm-hmm.
to start that investigation. My
Yeah.
favorite word. Well, moving into our fourth key point here, one that we've touched on quite a bit, but certainly deserves, a little bit deeper conversation of why this feminine flow matters to men.
Mm.
So certainly a piece we've been talking about. But I think really, when women are disconnected from their feminine flow, men lose something too.
Absolutely.
Quite similar to what we're talking about with the ruler analogy. There's always this push and pull.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're thrown out of our feminine energy, this is also throwing men out of whack too. But let's kind of talk about the emotional depth in relationships and how feminine flow encourages this.
So much to say in this one. So, if we're going to look at it as, the more that the feminine steps into that masculine energy, you're removing that safety, that security, that protection that masculine energy is going to provide, that wants to provide. So that feminine energy is removing that by stepping more into the masculine.
Yeah.
And it does create friction.
Mm-hmm.
If the masculine energy, the masculine flow is not able to do what it's there to do, what it needs to do, what that masculine energy feels how it needs to flow, right?
Yeah.
And so it really does create a lot of problems within the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There is not that emotional connection. There is not that safety. It goes deep.
Yeah. Yeah. And even, women and their cycles, hormonal cycles, just being a cyclical being, men also tend to lose that wisdom. Also, I mean, men are on a totally different cycle than women.
Definitely.
They're much more predictable, much more reoccurring every day. Their 24-hour cycle.
Yeah.
But yet here is the other side of the women with that much longer cycle. And this is kind of a point that I wanted to touch on earlier, but talking about like hormonal birth control and how it is there to suppress hormones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not feeling into the energies and the hormones that change your body throughout your cycle.
The emotions. You're not feeling that whole entire scope of what that month is supposed to be teaching and telling.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about being a woman is that every day is not the same. It can certainly be frustrating, but I love that we have these seasons that we move in and out of. And I think that is such a beauty that women bring to balancing this masculine. It brings variety almost. If you're thinking about it hormonally. men are just the same every day, whereas women are the ones that bring the energy or the vibe of the day or the space or the time that you're in.
Yeah, that's very true. The high energy, the low energy, the let's go in this direction. No, now we're going to go do this direction.
Yeah.
It is just it feels almost random, but I'm sure if you were to go back and really look at the bigger picture, it's not random at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure it really moved that person, that partnership, that family, that workplace, whatever, into a very purposeful direction.
Yeah.
It may have meandered, but
Yeah.
I'm sure if you looked at that bigger picture, you'd really be able to see what it did. But to allow that masculine energy to support that cycle, that rhythm, and that flow, they want to do that.
Yeah.
That's what that masculine energy is there for, is to protect that and to love that and to move with that. And they may not understand it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. They're not supposed to. We are supposed to understand that. And when we understand that, when we understand it fully, the masculine energy is able to just flow with it, feeling confident in it, not having to understand it, because we do.
Yeah.
And we're moving ourselves through our emotions, through the highs and through the lows beautifully, because it is natural to us.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking as if this is how we already practice this, although many of us do not. But that's what it could look like, right? And that is coming from the picture of, if we already understood that, if we already understood how to live with who we innately are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really kind of picture this as, someone that's curious on leaning into their femininity and feminine flow and how that looks in the body internally and externally. Yes, this is how this beautiful balance can look. But another piece that I just thought of that I wanted to mention was, while we have all of these seasons that we go through over a stretched number of days, the men are that constant for us. They are that anchor for us. They are that witness, that protection, that safety.
Beautiful.
That's safety.
Yes.
And that's beautiful.
Yes, and we don't allow them to be that anchor for us because we're trying to be it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we have been conditioned to think, you can't feel your emotions. You have to be strong. You have to hide this. You have to override. All of that. So that completely removes the masculine. But we're so angry that they're not there.
Yeah.
We may feel angry that they're not there. But we did that. Yeah. Because we are not in our in our feminine flow. And so naturally, that masculine energy has to be removed because we tried to step into it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that is the disservice to the man, to the masculine.
Yeah.
Because they are not being able to step into what they want to step into.
Yeah. Again, it's this harmony.
It is.
And
it is.
I mean, there's no better word for it.
Right.
It simply is a harmony between the masculine and the feminine.
And there is no blame. Again, not at all. And this is where we have to understand the purpose of both, and then how do we return back to ourselves? How do we step into our fullness in this feminine flow to allow that masculine to complement us
Mm-hmm.
in that masculine flow.
Yeah.
And that's all it is
Yeah.
just understanding and then stepping into it so everything else can fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
And it will.
Yeah.
You don't have to try. You don't have to push. You don't have to override. You just have to start being your true feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, the last point I want to touch on is feminine flow as our birthright.
Mm-hmm.
It's not self-sacrifice disguised as strength. This birthright is embodiment. It is that intuition, creativity, nurturance, the cyclical wisdom. That's our inner authority. Kind of like what we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
That self-confidence, that trust in the knowing.
Right.
That's our inner authority. That's where our energy and where we should propel from.
Mm-hmm.
Is that inner knowing.
And that inner knowing is allowing your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
allowing your rhythm, allowing your cycle, all of that. That is trusting that inner knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to move you through intuitively all of these mechanisms that make the female flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of these mechanisms that make the feminine flow.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And another reflection.
Mm.
What would it feel like to trust that my way of sensing, feeling, creating, and moving through life is not something to fix, but something to honor?
Mm-hmm.
What would that feel like?
Don't fix a thing. Step into it. Be aware. Come back home with the intention of honoring all of that feminine flow.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds and feels beautiful
Mm-hmm.
to embrace feminine flow.
Yeah. Yeah, the word that I love the most is embodiment.
Mm-hmm.
To embody
Mm-hmm.
our femininity.
Yeah.
And just allow, again, to allow that to flow.
Mm-hmm.
I love the word flow.
Yes.
Because it does. It courses through us. It flows through us.
It allows movement.
Mm-hmm.
Flow is movement.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so much what we are about. It is the movement of the hormones and the cycles and emotions.
Yeah.
And love and nurturing and holding space and moving our body and having creativity, inner wisdom. It is all flow.
Yeah. And appreciating and understanding the beauty in all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving into our balance for today, we want to gently bring everything back home to the body. Today's conversation is one to be felt, not understood or figured out, because feminine flow lives in sensation. Mm-hmm. It lives in rhythm, and it lives in that inner knowing. And before we leave you, we want to invite you to carry one simple intention. Not to treat your body as something to manage, but as something to be in relationship with. Feminine flow begins by trusting what has always been communicated from within. We have the answers.
We certainly do. Yeah.
And it's time that we start listening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time for that feminine flow to return.
Mm-hmm.
and start sharing that wisdom with younger generations.
Yeah.
And we'll see a big difference in the world.
Mm-hmm. You owe it to yourself.
All right. Beautiful.
On to my favorite part of the episode.
Yep. Let's see what it says.
Where we get to pull a card. We've pulled from our Akashic Truth deck. This certainly is one of our favorites. And we have a new beginning. This card is putting you on notice that a change is at hand. It may feel like things are falling apart, but that's only to make room for the new. Be open to synchronicities and be willing to take risks at the same time. Synchronicities.
Well, and I hear at risk because it may feel scary to step into that feminine flow.
Mm-hmm.
It may feel like giving up control. How are other people going to perceive you, respond to you, react to you? That feels risky.
Yeah.
But again, when we step into what is truly us and how we are supposed to be, everything else starts to match and balance with us.
Yeah. And that's our new beginning.
And that is a new beginning.
Yeah. This is a peaceful ending to this episode.
Yes.
The overarching theme for today is to tap into the inner knowing.
Step into yourself.
Yeah. Honor your feminine flow.
And let those around you also honor you.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right.
Thank you so much for another wonderful episode. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, be well,
be balanced,
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. This episode is for educational purposes only. The information is not intended to give medical advice or therapy. Please consult with a licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. Also know that you are responsible for your life choices and circumstances. Until next time,
be well
and be balanced. Bye.
Bye.